Hello, friends. Yeah, I haven't made much of a dent in the surrounding areas yet. Thought of organizing it first. As far as what I want to keep, what I want to keep here, what I want to throw away, give away, all that kind of stuff. So I just didn't feel like I wanted to wait till it was perfect to start making videos. My son and my husband are gone at the moment, out for a car ride. As some of you may or may not know, a car ride for my son is something that happens twice a day during the week, and hopefully we can keep it that way on the weekends as well. So I think he likes the input, the feel of the car going. So that's what they're out doing. So for a little while, as long as the dogs don't go crazy, I have some peace and quiet. Yay. Let me see if I have my settings correct here. I don't know. Okay, well, looks good to me. Yep, so it's Saturday, March 16th, the day before St. Patrick's Day. And I saw somebody post online, oh, who's having corned beef and cabbage tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, crap. I love corned beef and cabbage, and so does my husband. And we both just flaked on the idea of trying to remember to even think of buying the corned beef and cabbage. Can't have it if you don't get it in the house to start with. But that's okay. And I want to say happy birthday to my niece, Trisha. She is about as Irish as it gets. Born on St. Patrick's Day. Patricia's her name. I'm not going to say her middle name or her last name, but her last name is a Irish name, from her maiden name anyway. And yeah. So happy birthday to you, niece. She's a great mom, great wife, and always works hard to be kind to everyone and to herself. And she has a full-time job now, which wasn't always possible up where she lives. Plus, her kids are now all in school, so she can do that. And I'm just really proud of her. And pretty soon, it'll be her sister, my next niece, Nathalie. It'll be her birthday. I can't always remember if it's the 21st, 22nd. I don't really recall. I'm sorry. I always get that one confused. I probably have to look at my phone because I think I have it on my calendar on my phone. So it'll remind me. But those two, just got a place here along with my niece Samantha, who shares the same birthday as my husband. And she's my niece from my younger sister. So there's a lot of feminine energy in our family. No brothers. It was just us three girls. My dad and mom didn't have any boys together. My mom remarried, and I had a half brother, and my dad remarried, and I had a stepbrother. So yeah, and a new stepmom, and So the family was branching out in all the kind of weird, what do you call it? I don't want to call it unnatural, but more of a modern day family tree, I guess, where everybody gets some bonus parents and some bonus grandparents, and yeah. Except that happened to me all back starting in the early 80s. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking about that stuff right now. Missing my mom. My mom has been gone 6 years tomorrow. And my stepmom has been gone. She was gone 2 years this last February. So, yeah, losing some of that matriarchal energy in our family. And we're having to, as my older sister, myself, and my younger sister, step up and be there for our dad, who's older now. Still able to live by himself, but everybody's keeping an eye on him the best we can. So let's color this owl. Look at all that. Isn't that cool? I've got another one that I have under here that I seem to have started with colored pencils maybe when I first printed it out. So the coloring is not obviously done, and it's also not the same coloring that I have as a tattoo. My stepmom years ago and she was an owl lover, and she and I both got at the same time. This pretty much looks like this, a little bit different, but I have like 14. There's like 14 colors in my tattoo on the side of my right calf, and she had the same one done. And yeah, I never did have a tattoo done with my mom. I think my mom only had one tattoo her whole life. But one of my sisters and I and my one niece also have this, a similar the same tattoo. And then my stepmom got that tattoo also. So yeah, there's a lot of in the family tattooing. Well, we don't do the tattooing. We get the same tattoo. Like my dad and myself. I don't know if you can see that very well. I have it here on my arm. He has it over his heart. I'm a daddy's girl. So, but I better start coloring before the dogs start barking, because my husband and my son are at the door coming in. Now, I want this to be bright and cheerful because I need it to be bright and cheerful. But I'm going to do some of these, just start with some of these leaves first. So I make sure I get them all. Just going to draw this line. Hold on. Well, I'm going to have to switch headphones with y'all. I don't know if you can hear me right now. Yeah. But here come the corded headphones. Let's hope let's hope that pops in. La, 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 la. Sorry, guys. Having to switch. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I hope you guys can still hear me. Yeah, kind of sucks. My husband's not home, and this techie stuff is not necessarily my strong suit. But like I said, I'm doing these lines down the middle, green lines down the middle of these big leaves that are across the bottom here, so I don't miss any of the leaves entirely. It kind of helps me visually. Do any of you like to color? Do you color with colored pencils? Do you do like some charcoal drawings and shading? Do you color with markers? Do you like to paint colorings? Do you do diamond painting art that was around for quite a while and such a big deal? Just let me know in the comments below what your coloring experiences and ideas and fun is, if you have any. And if coloring is not your forte and you don't do any coloring, just let me know, what do you do for some, I don't want to say meaningless, but a little more effortless, a little less mind a little less mindfulness required, and you can just kind of let go and do. Because like I said in the description, I'm looking for a little bit of stress relief. Hashtag stress relief. Okay, now I'm of course going to, see, missed one. Look at all of them, see if I got them. All. Okay. Now I'm going to leave those leaves down there be. And I'm going to go for these little vaguely outlined flower shapes. I need a happy color. I need a spring color, y'all. Let's see. Probably some sort of periwinkle. Do these even say what color they might actually be? No, they don't. Just that they're dual tip. So here we go. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of it's a periwinkle. I was watching a music review, video review, reaction video on YouTube. I think it was the other day. And it was this couple And I don't even remember what song they were reacting to, but he is not native born American. Um, and she is. And he speaks extremely wonderful English, but there's just words he's never necessarily heard before. And then, um, like specifically, he mentioned periwinkle. Like he jokes that she's making up fake words because, like, that to him it just didn't sound like it could possibly be a real word. It is a real word and it's a real color. And I have found that a lot of people use the word periwinkle to describe quite the variety of shades. This is what I've typically known periwinkle to be, like a mostly a blue, but with that purple lavendery-ish color with it. So if anybody gets on the chat, I'll keep looking up. Also, y'all can watch this on the replay if you care to. I think my mom used to like to color when she was older and doing some art stuff. She was also really, really good at origami, which is like something I could not in a million years do. It just is too precise and so little. But my mom was at her tallest in life. She was 5 foot tall, and so by the time she came to live with me for the last several years of her life, I think she had shrunk to about 4'9". So I don't know if she realized it or did it on purpose or whatever, but any of her collections of things and the things she liked and whatever were little things like miniatures and stuff like that. So she was really good at that origami, as well as she saw something online and made me print out the directions for it, where you take a book and you follow the steps of, how many pages and you fold them this way and how many pages and you fold them that way and whatever. And it becomes to where it looked like a mushroom. And like you do, the folding in to make the base. And I think I helped cut out the cover for her because I don't think you needed the cover. You just needed the block, the pages, and keep them all still together. And it just showed you, and she just ended up with this, nice round mushroom with a stem. She was so proud of herself for that, and I thought, wow, that's actually very awesome. But it actually took her. That kind of thing takes longer than just a little origami, at least for her anyway. And she had that set up in her room to show off. Another thing I wouldn't have the patience to do, but she seemed to have, when it came to creating things, she had a lot more patience than me. I don't think she ever knitted, but she crocheted, and then any of that kind of stuff to me seems like it takes a lot more patience than maybe I have. I mean, I'd like to learn to crochet. I don't think I want to learn to knit. It seems so complicated. Oh, here's some more of these same shapies. Oh, but those are like the ones on the edge on the outside. They're not little. Where can we pull this color in? How about these little drops? Little teardrop or raindrop shaped areas on the wings. Now, do we have any more of those anywhere else? Sort of within the eyeball, but it's got a line in it too. Huh. Let's do this here. It's a limited feature there. Oop. I see too, I missed with the green. Oh, and more on the, on the wings. So I'm going to go back to that before I forget. Pull that same green out. And over here. Dogs. I'm going to mute you for a little bit, okay? Because they may really get to barking. Well, actually, they did. That was all there was to that. So maybe it's not daddy home, huh? Okay, my first instinct with these flowers here at the bottom with the swirls, like a generic representation of a rose. But I am so not a fan of red, you guys. And it always was about, oh, I just don't wear red. But now I'm old enough in life to be like, when I like something, I like it. When I don't like it, I don't like it. So it's kind of carried over into, it doesn't really matter if it's clothes or what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like red roses. I do. The real thing. But what I do like to do is, if possible, if it's the really dark, like a brick red or more, burgundy, maybe starting with barn red and then darker. After those are the ones I do like. Still can't wear them because of my skin tone. But yeah, you'll never catch me with red glasses because that ain't gonna happen. They are not flattering for me. I have a lot of greens, browns, and blacks for my glasses. I have a mint, like a milky mint color of reading glasses that I had our eye doctor do for me too. As you can tell, I like funky glasses. I like bigger glasses, pointy cat eye glasses. Hello. Hello, love. I see my husband, Steve, in the chat there. He's supposed to be driving. You want to message me here or when you're almost home, so I know when the dogs are going to go crazy and make too much noise for this live stream, please. That way I can mute for these wonderful people who end up coming in and watching or watch on the replay. I know barking dogs and screaming kids, right? Not really what comes over well on a microphone for a live video. Oops, a little bit of that. You know what my favorite color though of roses are? And I'm sure it's not real. They've been cross germinated and whatever else. More like a mangoey peach color. And I remember when I was single after my divorce and I had a full-time job. One of the only full-time jobs I've ever had. And I was working as a church administrative assistant. And there was a grocery store, like right at the light before I got to work, so I could always pop in there and grab myself something for lunch and then not have to go out if I didn't remember to bring something. And I remember one day just, you know what? Look, they got my favorite color roses. So I bought myself the dozen roses, put them in a vase with water, kept them on my desk. And now this congregation was heavily populated with elderly people. And a lot of those people would come in for this or that they needed from me. And one of the most, revered guys in that community, that church congregation, actually pointed out that the color of them and said that was his mom's favorite color too. And I took back some tears thinking, he's in his 80s, I believe he was at the time, and still remembered what his mom's, favorite color roses was. Mm-hmm. And she could have been gone 20, 30 years. And he obviously loved his mom and remembered things like that. Oh, this makes things difficult here. It's a swirl, but it's not really a flower because it opens up out to that. So we're going to leave that be. Oh, here we are. Some of these here. Didn't I say I wanted to make this bright? And here I am with this dark red. After I get done with any of these swirls that look like roses, I'm going to pick a brighter color and lighten this baby up a little bit. Now I know there's a whole lot of you out there that are much better at coloring than I am. And I obviously do not do it often like a lot of you coloring fans do. But I am looking for that same stress relief that a lot of you say that this brings you. Oh, look at there. Another periwinkle spot. I don't even have my red put away. And I got a periwinkle spot over here that I missed. I'm going to leave this out in case I find more. Oh, here's some of these on the border. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Well, so far, they're big on false alarms, those dogs. There's one on the couch that he's like, nah, I'm not getting up for this. It's too snuggly and warm over here on the couch under his own little blanket. He's not getting up unless it's something to really get up for. All right, let's put the red aside. Let me get that green out that I was using just so I need to use it again for the same purpose, same shapes than I can. All right, let's brighten this up. So we've got some leafy green, dark red roses, some periwinkle. Oh, I feel like any of these bigger flower things are the same size as these ones on the border. So maybe we can go yellow. Just almost a mustardy yellow. Look at me picking all these colors I can't wear. My husband looks good in mustard yellow though. And reds, oranges, browns. I do brown. I do black. I do gray. After years of prodding, I do pink. Years of prodding by my husband, I should say. I do a little bit of yellow, but never really solid by itself. I went through lots of years before my divorce and then even afterwards where I would not wear anything that wasn't brown, tan, white, cream. Yeah. Oh, with the occasional lime green thrown in. And plain. Nothing could have any kind of design on it. Yeah, if that wasn't representative of my life at the time, I don't know what was. Interesting how you can look back and realize that. You think you're just making fashion choices. And even now, just mentally, I'm like, ugh, I'm careful about picking out anything that's got a pattern to it. I started with, just like an image on the front or a little saying. And now I do have quite a bit of pattern stuff. But like you see me now, here I am without any patterns. Let me see here. Was that hubby at the door? The dogs aren't barking. Oh, I think that was just my son texting me. My son, who has moved out of state, lived here before, but then moved away recently. He's texted me all about his 4-bedroom house that he's renting with a friend, and they both work from home. They don't work for the same company, but they both work from home, so they have room for bedrooms and offices. But I think he said that the young lady roommate he has, she set up her computer in her office in her room. She doesn't have to have quite as big of a setup as my son does. And yeah, I guess she has the master bedroom and the master bathroom, so she has more room for a computer set up in her bedroom, which then I guess leaves one room where they say they're going to kind of make it a game room. So I don't know if that means they're like going to put their gaming computers in there versus their work computers. I don't know. But the next time I go out to visit my dad, I'll be able to go and visit my son too, because they only live about an hour apart. Just borrow my dad's car, because now he doesn't have a car that he won't let me drive. He always says he's not letting me drive. Always said he wouldn't let me drive the car he had, because he, had a bucket list of things, and some cars, wanting to own certain kinds of cars, were on his list. But I succeeded in being able to be allowed to drive all of them, except the one he had for the shortest length of time, which was a Tesla. I would have liked to have tried it. I wasn't real fond when he was speeding down the road, and then you just gotta squeeze the steering wheel and it turns it into automatic and back to manual. Automatic back to manual, and could just let go and let it drive itself. Yeah, that scared the living out of me. Mm-hmm. My dad's too old to be doing that kind of stuff, but he loved it. He just didn't have it for very long, which was sad. Now I'm not even quite sure what kind of car he has. For a long time, he was a real GM guy, because he worked for the electromotive train division of GM, and they always got a discount, and he always, kind of just preferred their Buicks and things like that. Oh, and do I remember the sky blue station wagon with the fake wood paneling down the side? And then there was front row bench seat, back row bench seat, but behind that, where you could, put all your groceries in or whatever, also like lifted up and out. And then we kids could sit back there too. Probably completely unsafe, and that's why they don't make that kind of thing anymore. But I remember asking. We got to come home, no car seats, no nothing. I've seen some of the early car seats when they did have to start using them, and they were just like, seriously, woo. Glad I was not born around that time. Although being held by my mom in her arms while my dad drove was probably worse, for safety reasons. But I see another one here. Yeah, my dad's always been a car guy. And he was a motorcycle guy. until he had an accident with my stepmom on back. And then it was no more motorcycles. No mo, no mo, no mo. Trying to get these little dots by the yellow. Apparently I want some amount of green in this thing. If this turns out to be something I like well enough with, the colors. I already like the overall shape of the owl and whatever. I might end up with another owl tattoo. Although I'm not telling, but I do know what my actual next tattoo is going to be. Well, one of two things. Hubby and I finally did come up with something, but we never did get it tattooed on. And lost the image that he created, and then we found it again. Going through this whole process here that we started and aren't finished with. I found that image, so that might be the next one. And if that's not the next one, there's a different one I got ideas about. So you say, how many tattoos do you have, Renee? Well, let me think. I'm going from the feet up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I believe it's 13. That's how many I have. And I used to have a lot more piercings in my ears. But I went through a period of time of a lot of like CT scans and MRI scans. And they always make you take off all the metal and whatever. So I just kept the 3 in my lobes. Got rid of the ones in my cartilage and whatever, and kept my lip ring and kept my nose ring. And I guess like my mom, I like to wear rings. I change. These are wedding and anniversary things. I don't really change those, but I change up what's over here. So, and all the bracelets. So I have fun with this kind of stuff. I'm not too much of a girly girl, so this stuff is more earthy like. I like those things. That's what I am. It's good to be 50 something years old and finally know what you like, know what you don't like. And you don't have to have anybody telling you what you should or shouldn't do or like. Oh, there's a dog bark and a run upstairs. So I might have to mute again. I will let you know. I'm also not a very big purple fan, but this was screaming purple. So I said, all right, purple it is. Oh, I used to have this app on my phone. And my son liked to do it too when he was younger, where they bring up all kinds of outline pictures, and then you just tap on the broad spectrum of colors below, and you tap on and get it exactly the right hue and saturation and all that stuff, and then you tap on the parts of the picture where you want that color to go. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Um, that was fun. I wonder if that still exists. I don't think it'll entertain my son in any way or interest him anymore. But it might be a way to do some mobile coloring with your silly while you're out and waiting in a waiting room or whenever you gotta wait. Because I am 53 and don't like to wait well. I don't wait well. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. I mean, you'd think when I got patience from having 4 kids that waiting would kind of go hand in hand with that, and maybe it does. I just haven't perfected it yet. I don't know if I'm ever going to perfect it. Does anyone perfect anything? I don't know. But I definitely need to do better about waiting. Even if it is learning to distract myself with something else, just to keep my mind off of the waiting. Okay, I'm kind of liking all these colors here. Okay, so now that I've introduced this color up there, I feel like I need to put it somewhere else. Obvious enough. So hubby's let me know in the chat that it's not him that's making the dogs bark. But they'd be full on, all 3 of them, running to the door barking, and it wouldn't stop for a little bit. So then I'd really have to mute you. Let's see here. I'm liking putting this purple in a lot of places. Small things, but they add up with the overall look of the image. Uh-oh. No, that's just somebody with a motorcycle or something, guys. So what's everybody doing this weekend? It's already almost Saturday. Okay, you're going to be here in 2 minutes. Sounds good. Now I'm going to turn on my, I like to turn on my time stamps so that yeah, that helps me. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had some warmer days earlier in the week. But of course, now that it's weekend and people are off of work, it's pretty chilly again. Even, I guess, more March-like. We're spoiled with those couple of really good days to be outside. I'm going to take this lighter green. Oh, I'm going to use a lighter green and fill in those leaves that I drew a darker green down the middle. And mute. Sorry. Okay, it's quiet for now. But I can tell my son has not come in the door yet. That's one thing that'll make at least one of the dogs bark like crazy. And it's not even just when my son comes home, comes in the door. It's at bedtime at night, and he sees them coming in from one room to another room that the dog's in, our dog's already in, and I don't know what his thing is. I know he's afraid of the oxygen tubing. That might really be the only thing that he's barking about. Because I know he won't step over the oxygen tubing unless it's just one, like one length of it. If it's like, wadded up kind of section. No, he'll stand over here and bark until somebody comes and straightens it out for him. And then he just hops over. Oop, yep. Sorry, I got to mute again. Welcome home, Oliver. Oliver, welcome home. Welcome home. Oliver, did you have a good car ride? Okay. Hi, Daddy.
You broke the rule.
I broke the rule. Say it again. Oh. He's reminding me that I broke the rule. I wasn't supposed to talk about my one child because he did not want me to talk about him. But that's technically when he found out I had let him know about my two sisters and I starting a podcast. But I know that he won't see that technical difference. So forget everything I said about my son who moved away and that works from home. I don't even know if I mentioned his name. Probably. I'm not real good at not talking about my kids. It's not like they're kids anymore. They're all adults. I'm not telling you their addresses or their phone numbers or anything. I'm not telling you where they work. Not even really what they do. Because I'm not always quite sure what it is they are doing for a living. I know they're doing well, taking care of themselves. My daughter's a stay-at-home mom with my two little grandbabies, the only grandbabies I have so far. And I know I'm not allowed to, post pictures of the kiddos anywhere where public people can see it, which is wise, Well, there's a lot of people that feel like, they really shouldn't be posting the faces of their kids online for safety reasons. Daddy's Chihuahua. Her name is Paisley Park. And we got her right around the time that Prince passed away, so we named her Paisley Park. She is definitely my husband's dog. And she will just bark at him and sass him until she gets what she wants. And even though we have two other dogs, she is the one that came along second out of the three that we have. But she's the only girl. So she is the HBIC. And, ooh, bless you, puppy dog. She's got seasonal allergies too, I think. Might be time to start giving her some Benadryl. Poor baby. Oh, goodness, they're actually playing. Are you guys playing? Wow. Maybe they'll be good and tired later tonight. Hey, knock it off. She's an interesting little dog. She's a female, but she lifts her leg to go potty outside. And when she wants to play, she turns around and she kicks you backwards. She does it to us people. She does it to the other dogs. No one is immune. Oh, but you can probably still hear that. They're upstairs. Probably looking to go outside. Yeah. And then when they come back in, they'll have their treat and hopefully be happy and quiet. I can hear my son even through these headphones. He's got some sort of video playing out loud. Usually can't hear anything. He's got a headphone set that can be plugged into two different things, and he actually listens to two different things at the same time that way. Either that or he lets one play out loud and then just uses headphones for the other, and he switches back and forth. Actually, technically, he switches back and forth from a PC, a laptop, and an iPad. And usually also probably 75-80% of the time or so, a book, which right now is a encyclopedia type of book about birds. So yeah, those are his things, and he has them right there at his disposal, and that's what he does. At first he had a big dinosaur interest, and then it just all of a sudden became birds. Whatever. I think I'm going to have to get out some browns here now, because we got some feet here. A bunch of circles. Wonder what we're having for dinner. We get really kind of lazy now without the other three kids being here about worrying about dinners so much. And our son has his own specialty diet that never changes. Can't ever change, really. So we don't have to think about him when it comes to dinner either. But my husband is spending some time up in the kitchen right now, so I kind of wonder if he's got a hankering for something too. He may bring me a whole plate of something before I get done with this, or before I shut the video off. He might. He just might. That's usually the way it works. He's the cook. He likes to experiment with cooking much more than I ever did. So it's fun to figure out what we're going to be eating. Well, I do have to say that this has been relaxing. I have to put this one on my list of good things to do when I get stressed out or need to just relax my brain a little or a lot. Periwinkle to the rescue. Let's make these little dots on its beak, half circles. Periwinkle. Cool. Here we are so far. You see the colors? Yeah. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to have to start leaving more information in the description box than when I first started this video. I'll have to go back and put links to my other socials, Facebook, Instagram, what else? Facebook, Instagram. Obviously, this is YouTube already. Do at least those. It's doggy dinner time, huh? Hun? My husband, the heavy walker. You can hear plain as day him walking up the stairs. And you know he's mad when it's really, really loud. Because on the regular, he walks real hard and fast. If he's mad, all you have to do is hear the change in his steps. Faster and louder. I'm just lucky to get up and down the stairs without my clumsiness kicking in. Knock on wood. I haven't fallen in a while on the stairs, going up or down. I've done both. I feel like my childhood clumsiness is coming back to haunt me. I was such a clumsy child. I always had some scrapes on my knees, bruises I had no idea. I couldn't even have told you where they came from. But that's when we were outside all the time. I was always riding a bike, And like I said, there were just us three girls, but that doesn't mean that all we did was girly things. When we got outside, we got wet, we got dirty, we made mud pies, you name it. Found some leaves here I missed. Oh, I missed them on the other side too. Also, when I'm done with this live stream, I think I'm going to try what Becky from Aunt Beck's Creation has going, where it's a boho quilt square. She's put just a canvas kind of backing and then different shapes of real colorful batik, I think batik style material, and then sewn all the pieces on, and then do whatever slow stitching stitches. I don't think I know all that many slow stitching stitches, but it's supposed to be boho style, and you're supposed to make two. One to swap with another person and one to keep for yourself. So, boho being right up my alley, I have tons of beads. I have tons of like broken, what do you call that kind of jewelry? When it's not fine jewelry, it's just play jewelry. Lots of those things that I can sew down and make some fun little squares. But what I think I'm going to do is my son, I just grabbed over there a pair of pants that he's not able to wear anymore. And I think I'm going to cut some of the leg parts out for the backing of my boho square. And now that I'm thinking about it, if it's possible to be a good size, to maybe cut out the back panel of the butt where the pockets are, because that would be fun. Because then the other side would be all the material, but then that back side would be denim with a pocket. I'm thinking, trying to use that creative side of my brain. Can't remember which side that is. But I know it's one side or the other. Well, I know I saw some brown that I was supposed to be. Like they leave some general spots that are supposed to technically still be feathers. So I'm trying to keep that a little natural. Where did I see? Nope, that wasn't it. Error number 1. There. All right, well, I think this is as far as I'm going to go for right now. But I will bring it back out, maybe in another stream, or bring it out when it's finished. But I thank you guys for hanging out with me. Anybody that's watched on the replay. I know there are other people live right now, so I'm not going to try to take up any more time. These markers back in here first before I say goodbye to y'all. Ugh. Yeah, and I do put them all in the right places. I'm big on that. Helps me pick shades better. Whoa, wait a second. Where's that one? Because I don't think this is it. Aha! Oh, that was sly. Look at that. Oh, this looks like it fits in there. Really? I forget what I said about keeping them organized. I obviously screwed something up there. And the periwinkle goes in. All right. And again, this is just a pretty basic 48 color dual tip brush pen set with the brush tip and the fine felt tip. So they're double-ended, and there's 48 of them, and they've held up really good for me, even during, some a period of non-use. So, hope everybody enjoys their Saturday evening and is safe and as healthy as possible, happy as you can be, spreading that happiness and love around because the world needs it. Take care. Till next time. Peace.